Insecurity remains one of the biggest challenges facing developing countries, and hunger equally clings to poverty. Despite the efforts on the UN Sustainable Development Goals, still, several families in Kenya are crippled by this monster, hence a need for immediate intervention. There are a number of programs and non-profit organizations that rely on donations and aid in order to make a big difference. An example is the iCare community-based organization run by Peace Musau, who took the initiative to do the little she could to help the most vulnerable members of society.
We are iCare Foundation. It's a registered C.B.O. We've been giving out food, school items to children's homes. Not by any major donors, just handouts from well-wishers. But our main aim is to create awareness on the conditions of the children's home. iCare Foundation started, the main concept was when I was a child. My mom used to really like helping out needy people. You know, some women would come knocking at the door, asking for food handouts. And I think I took up after her, so that's where I learned how to give.
The community-based organization, which mainly works with children's homes, relies mainly on well-wishers for support as they have no donors.
We are currently a C.B.O., not a foundation, so we hope to register it we hope to register it as a foundation, which now gets us more donors to directly be able to support the homes instead of just doing it. You know, we randomly collect well-wishers. We don't have specific donors. We randomly collect people who visit the homes with us. We randomly collect people who do the cleanings, just basic mwananchi to, you know, just me and you. We encourage people to donate the actual stuffs instead of monetary kinds of donations. And yeah, we don't take in funds to ourselves. We encourage people to do that directly to the children's home. We normally have enough volunteers to make meals with the kids, we also teach the kids different crafts. They make hand beads and everything, which they give as souvenirs, and people visiting normally buy such stuff from them as well. So we also interact with the kids, we give them counseling. That's where we end up now giving our donations, and yeah, most people that we normally invite to go with us end up being frequent visitors in the children's homes, which goes a long way for them as well, because now it means they won't just eat that day that we're there. So it ends up accumulating, and they're served more days.
Unfortunately, poverty and insecurity have long gone hand in hand because people living in poverty are less likely to have sufficient resources to buy food or produce their own.
We are trying to help maybe around 100 kids, but there's so much out there. There's so many other kids out there that are really suffering. We can't be able to collectively help all of them. So there's still other kids out there who are still suffering in the same kind of way. So the only thing we'd ask is for unity among us Kenyans for Kenyans. We are the only people who can save ourselves. So it would be nice if people directly involved themselves in supporting the needy, especially the kids.
In developing countries, nearly 1 in 6 children is malnourished, and poor nutrition accounts for almost half of the deaths in children under the age of 5. The problem of food insecurity is a product of behaviors that people do every day, and it has the ability to affect people who may not even know it.
We get the platform given by supermarkets or anything to reach out to customers and give them flyers to create awareness of what we really do. And they don't directly donate to us as a foundation. They directly visit the homes with us. So our main aim is to actually create the awareness of the conditions of the children's homes, and that's where we get the funds to support them. Because now mostly well-wishers come, others want to donate food, school items, basically the major things. So from there now they end up now dealing directly with the children's home.
Despite a large number of impending causes, there are still actions that can be taken to combat food insecurity. For instance, urging the government to make nutrition programs that emphasize on nutrition as a priority.
We hope to get support from the government as well to do follow-ups on how the children's homes are carried out, because some of the children's homes, especially the individually owned ones, it's more about the owner than the kids. Just because the kids are smiling out there doesn't mean they're happy. Because most donors come in and like, they sound so happy. But at the end of the day, they're kids. So, of course, a kid will be smiling, even same way you'd beat up a child and give them a sweet and they'll end up smiling. So people should look more into their welfare and how they live, after giving, people should learn to do follow-ups on how their donations go about.
Although nothing good comes easy, it is not always reason for one to give up, especially if it is for a good cause.
Lack of funds, lack of enough support from the government maybe, because especially we are trying to help maybe around 100 kids, but there's so much out there. There's so many other kids out there that are really suffering. We can't be able to collectively help all of them. So there's still other kids out there who are still suffering in the same kind of way. So the only thing we'd ask is for unity among us Kenyans for Kenyans. We are the only people who can save ourselves. So it will be nice if people directly involve themselves in supporting the needy, especially the kids.
The economy and the COVID-19 pandemic might have weighed heavily on Musau's initiative, but given the right tools and commitments, global food insecurity could become a more manageable problem in years to come.
Most people are affected by the economy right now, especially during this time. And it applies, even the people who've been supporting the needy kids are also withdrawing because they also don't have enough, or because times are hard for themselves as well. So they end up being very abandoned, especially during this kind of time. So it started off as a WhatsApp group that I opened back in school, back in campus. Just of friends visiting children's homes, blah, 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 blah. That's where we ended up registering it as a C.B.O. So we ended up giving food, school items, basic needs, and maybe other kinds of support to different children's homes. Currently, we've been dealing with slum schools, but now because of COVID, the schools are closed, so we ended up having to invest in 3 major children's homes, which is Meta Children's Home in Kangemi, Good Samaritan in Mathare, and we're also dealing with C.B.O Children's Home in Ruiru.
It is important to understand why food insecurity happens and what can be done to alleviate it. So, what other plans are in store for this determined lady?
Our greatest desire is to be able to get the kids good education. I mean, education goes a long way. Yes. I think that's where some of us messed up, which we're still recovering, so yeah. We hope for more and more supporters who can give more quality things like education, scholarships, and medical support as well, because we also find very ill kids who are suffering from chronic diseases inside the children's home. We are hoping to soon open a home of ourselves. With enough support, we will go a long way.
It doesn't take a hero to order men into battle. Rather, it takes a hero to be one of those who goes to battle. We sing a song of our hero, Peace Musau, who, despite all odds, takes on the front line to protect little children, holding their hand into a brighter future.
It's easier to build children than to repair broken men. So, example, drugs. You have to teach them very early other than rehabilitating them later. So we prefer the prevention and awareness part when it comes to kids, because they need that when they're very young. We've seen kids exposing themselves to so much evil when they're at the age of 12. So basically, it means people assumed they're very little when they were younger, so they end up exposing themselves to so much because people assume they're very innocent and very young when they're the most affected. We welcome people to visit our social media pages where we post all our accountability and every other visit that we make into children's homes, which is iCare Kenya. On all our social media pages, we're welcome for emails, and they can also check out our website, iCare. Find us on Facebook and Instagram on iCare Kenya on both accounts. Yes, and you can send us emails on icarekenya@gmail.com. Yeah.